the brand new Donji Corleone Watches live stream. I was gonna do this one Friday, but however, some plans are going on Friday night, so I'm gonna do this one tonight. Sorry about the little short notice, and it's going to be for me rewatching, of course, the second best MCU movie, Avengers Endgame, and this is just one of the few steelbooks I have. So as you all know, this has on the back here has the two Avengers that died. The other one here is Nat, and it has Scarlett Johansson and Robert Downey Jr.'s signatures on here. And I think I like these discs better than the ones we usually get in normal Blu-rays, where it's just a stupid silver or blue disc now with the logo on it, which is cheap and lazy. These are better because these are like how discs used to be, and I wish discs would try to be more like this, not the crap we have today, as if they can't really put any money in it. All right. Anyways, the point is, I'll get the remotes and let's get started on this because this is a 3-hour movie, guys. So I don't want to talk too long here. Let's just get this started. And I almost want to forget. If you want to hear what the whole audio in this, you'll need to have a copy of Avengers Endgame ready to play when I press this button, the play button. So, you guys have the copies of Avengers Endgame? Have them all ready. Hello there, Jedi Prime. Good timing. You're in the nick of time. So anyway, guys, let's get this started. The quicker we can be done this because I've got work tomorrow morning, so I can't really talk too long. This is a 3-hour movie. 3, 2, 1, play! And there's Hawkeye's arrow. Clint training his daughter. The opening scene of the movie. Oh, and by the way, guys, you notice my posters are gone because, well, I'm going to be moving downstairs quite soon. So I got to get the stuff down. So yeah, it's empty now. It's going to get more empty as everything progresses. Uh-oh. You know what's happening. And I remember everyone gasping in the theater opening night. The minute his family turned dust, just everyone just gasped. I'm not kidding, guys. Like, I had one of the best opening night crowds of my life when I went to see this in theaters. And this literally all happens while he's still on house arrest. That's fucked, man. And Scott was just freed from his house arrest probably during this. And Hawkeye was probably about to be freed from his. It's really fucked up. Final day of house arrest and your family just snaps away from existence. Alright. And I like with this Marvel logo right here, where you just take out half the characters and only put the OG6 in here. That was very, very good idea there. And now we're about to cut to Tony and Nebula, still trapped in space. But they got off Titan. Yeah, I agree, Ryan Connor. And right here, this is the first... With this match Tony and Nebula are doing, this is the first time Nebula has really won anything. Here, and the first proper father bond she kind of has with Stark here, because we know her actual father treated her like shit. and had a pretty disturbing past with her dad. Now comes his recording to Pepper because he thinks he's gonna die in space. Well, he thought he was. He didn't know he was about to be found by Captain Mary Sue, but their ship ran out of fuel. They're out of food and supplies. Originally, there was no hope for them at this rate, and Tony's Tony's wounds from Thanos and Infinity War have taken a long time to improve. And they tried, and there's the shot of them trying to fix the ship, and it failed. So now they're pretty much stuck in space. And I love that Nebula lets him have the last bit of food because she clearly knows he needs it more because like he's still wounded. He's still wounded from when Thanos like beat him to near death and stabbed him in the stomach and stuff during their fight on Titan. I still remember when that teaser appeared, and that was the first thing I woke up to was that recording. That 4 a.m. morning, December 2018. I still remember that. And I love how in this scene we have the score that kind of plays during Tony's death. Still playing a much more softer version of it, kind of foreshadowing what might happen. And I also love this next scene where Nebula sees Tony sleeping on the floor, but actually lifts him to the chair and kind of puts a blanket over him so that he doesn't die sleeping on the floor and stuff, and can actually have a bit of a peaceful sleep before which they think is going to be the day they die. So really, really love her character growth in this movie. Here. God. And here comes Captain Mary Sue. Although this was probably one of the only few times useful. One of the few rare times Captain Mary Sue is actually useful. Alright, now we're back to the compound. Rogers has just shaved off his beard from Infinity War. Because we all know the Accords ain't gonna matter now anymore because pretty much mostly everybody's snapped away. So the Accords probably aren't gonna have much of an effect on the world anymore now. And like it's the Russos even revealed Ross was actually one of the victims of Thanos' snap, so that reveal made me happy to see. They really should have kept that reveal in there. I think anybody would have cheered if they found out Ross was one of the victims. I don't think anybody would have been sad. Because remember, Ross pretty much contributed to all this. Pretty much allowed Thanos to kill half the universe. And cause even more casualties than the Avengers ever did. Well, although the Avengers' casualties were accidental, Thanos' casualties were all on purpose. Now Rocket just had to find out none of his team survived. There's Thor. Still pretty much blaming himself. Yeah, it would. It would be a big shock for anybody. It would be a. Thank God it isn't. Thank God it isn't real. It would suck if it was. And if you think about Ryan Connor, I don't think I don't think everybody got brought back. I mean, the only people that really got revived were the ones that got snapped away. Some clear probably even died from accidents caused by a snap. Like, just think of all the plane crashes that probably all happened because the pilots got dusted away. Those people who didn't get snapped away in the plane, if autopilot was luckily on, but if not, fuck. Those people were probably fucked. So some probably did die for real. Not from the snap, but from accidents pretty much caused by the snap. And there's Cap and Tony's argument because y'all remember Cap Civil War? Their last scene of them together, Cap Civil War. They're still not on good terms yet because of the Civil War movie. So, like the Russell still, I like the Russell still acknowledged Civil War in that scene. Alone. Yeah, she goes to kill Thanos without a motive. Yeah, Avengers fight, not just yours. And the people you know might be already dead. need you. They never needed you. Yeah. Yeah, why weren't you there? At all. Look at the son of a bitch. And cue that opening title. Here we go. Yeah, I love that throw up on my ship line. Because of course Bucky probably remembers when Baby Groot vomited on his in Guardians Volume 2. You guys remember that scene? Yeah, I agreed. Looking at that photo of Peggy Carter, foreshadowing his ending. Alright. Now, unfortunately, in this next scene, regardless of how evil Thanos was, they were not really being Avengers in this scene. In this scene, they're mostly just being flat out, like Empire fans said, flat out murderers. Back when he did reaction. I mean, yeah, Thanos is very evil, but they were just pretty much committing a petty murder. Pretty much committing some petty murder crime in this scene. Just some petty revenge acts here. Like, look at this Thanos. This Thanos isn't even a threat anymore. He's now, like, about to die anyway. Like, don't really think this Thanos is even a threat anymore, because the stuff... He's about to be dead soon. And here they come. Alright. Just when you think the satisfaction of seeing that just dies out the minute you see no stones in there. Grateful? Half the families are dead because of you. Also foreshadowing. just beheaded him just as he was about to regret his harsh treatment of Nebula. That there's no hope for the universe. The stones are destroyed, and Thanos died winning. And goodbye to the best Thor. Because soon we're gonna get that stupid drunken fat Thor that nobody likes. Only Disney demanded. Not as bad as Professor Hulk, though. And for a second, I thought the movie was over here until it said 5 years later. For a second. And 5 years later, that's this year. The 2023. We're on the Endgame year. And there's all New York deserted. Kind of looks like the apocalypse here. A zombie apocalypse, how it would look. Yeah, and next week it's Endgame Day. The day my review premieres. April 26th, 11 a.m. And now we're at Steve Rogers hosting a therapy here. And you're wondering, why would he be hosting a therapy session if he's a fugitive from the Accords? Well, technically speaking, obviously after his snap, the government probably woke up and finally realized how stupid they were making the Accords. So any remaining government officials pretty much had to shut the Accords down. Because they pretty much caused Infinity War. Or contributed to the massacres of Infinity War. I guess, I guess so. I guess you're right about that, Jedi Prime. And now it's San Francisco. Yeah, yeah, I'll take Fat Thor over however the hell he was in Love and Thunder. I'll take Fat Thor over Love and Thunder's Thor any day. Now we're at the truck with the rap pushing the button. Guys, I'll mention this. When my review premieres, when I mention the Herald stuff in Endgame, that stuff's gonna kind of erase the rats. Because I would have had a better way for Scott to get out of the quantum realm. And remember, guys, Scott only experienced 5 hours. Everybody else experienced 5 years. Since he only experienced 5 hours, he has no idea where he is. Or how he ended up in a storage area. Hey, look, I love the little Ken Jeong cameo here. That was that was pretty nice seeing Ken Jeong cameo as a security guard. And at least he let Scott take some of his things. Yeah, yeah, that's why my endgame review, when I mentioned my Harold Hartigan subplot in my endgame review, it's gonna take the rat out. This kid's like, you're in for a long story. that kid's pretty much like that kid probably lost a lot of family members those 5 years. And there's the snap grave of all the victims, or as they call it, the vanished. And you can literally feel the next few minutes. You'll see like Scott's horror because he's really hoping Cassie's not on this list here. But he knows like Hope and Hank dusted now, and he's really hoping Cassie didn't fall victim to this. So that's why he's frantically searching the whole gravestones, hoping because her name's not on here. And instead, so shockingly sees his name instead. Nice. And there's teenage Cassie. And it's and right here is a very emotional moment because she clearly thought her dad died among the snaps, so you can really feel Cassie's emotion here because that her dad's alive and still looks like how he looked when she was a younger small kid. So you can just really see emotion on her face that she's very happy to see her dad again. And Scott's all emotional because her daughter's now a teenager. Although, one question though, they never mention what happened to Maggie Lane or Jim Paxton. Did they either survive or did they get snapped? Like, I kind of want to know that. I mean, or whoever was taking care of her, if they did get snapped. Okay, and I love this next scene because Rocket and Nebula are pretty much shit talking Captain Marvel for leading him to a garbage thing, so that was pretty satisfying. And when Rocket makes fun of her haircuts. So it was satisfying to see Rocket and Nebula get pissed with Captain Mary Sue. Yes, thank you, Rocket. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Cassie would take care of herself as a teenager by herself. So, they did, but thankfully, this is the last scene we see of Captain Mary Sue for a while. And then she does not come back till the finale. So I'm glad they did not put her in the rest of the film. And now in this scene between Nat and Rhodes, we find out what had become of Hawkeye during those 5 years. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie here. I do like Hawk as a character, but I kind of liked the one scene with his Ronin personality a bit more. I'm not gonna lie here. Even if it was one scene, I kind of more liked his Ronin personality in Ronin's one scene. But I still like Hawkeye as a character. And Rhodes is pretty much telling Nat to stay out of whatever Hawkeye's getting involved in. Sorry guys, this is not. This is just a scene with Steven. There's not really a lot to talk about with this scene. Other than well, other than maybe the snap didn't do too bad, as there's more whales in the ocean now, and them just trying to move on, start a life, start a life in the new world. Me too. I think the best I think the best of that friendship's portrayal was the Winter Soldier of the movies. The Winter Soldier probably portrayed it the best. Oh. Yep. And Scott. And now Scott's arrived. And they don't believe it because even they thought he died him on the snap. And it's not an old message. Yeah, well, remember he's been trapped inside some earth for 5 hours in his time. Well, so alright, and within the 5 years, Tony easily moved on. Retired from labs, now lives in a cabin near the lake. He was inspired by Hawkeye's like living lifestyle. And we're about to see something even greater here happened. There's Morgan. Wearing one of Tony's armors he invented for Pepper. Also some foreshadowing. Absolutely. Normal 3000. Them, they seem more casual now. They seem more a little. It seems like within the 5 years, their interaction with one another is now a little more casual since Civil War. Well, then again, some of these, then again, they had bigger things on their mind. So, rivalry was not important during this whole time. It had been 5 years, so. Oh my god. Here comes Professor Hulk. Another thing I hate they did. Even Fat Thor, I take over Professor Hulk any day. Fat Thor at least actually did stuff in the final fight with Thanos. And still tried to fight Thanos, at least. And at least had a reason for his change here. This is not the Hulk. After his absent, oh, never mind. We're about to get to that selfie scene, aren't we? Okay. I'm surprised like nobody at the diner's a little freaked out by one of the strongest event Avengers literally dining in a diner. Yeah, yeah, we should have. We never got to see that. Yeah, I, Yeah, at least this Professor Hulk's not the She-Hulk one that I've seen in clips. Yeah, especially the ads I've had to sit through for YouTube videos like being the Hulk means perfect balance. Like I have to watch that stupid clip before I watch a YouTube video a lot. It's so cringy and annoying when he's doing yoga with that stupid Princess Fiona knockoff. That thing is not She-Hulk. Okay, I'm not calling that thing She-Hulk. And now he gets to where Tony's pretty much inventing quantum time travel here, and we're analyzing it, and it works. There's Morgan again. And you can tell Morgan's pretty much adopting her dad's sense of humor. Or I just love her scenes together. Yeah. And here comes on testing the time travel in Scott's van. Yep. There's kid version of Scott. Old man version of Scott. This also foreshadows Cap's ending as well. And there's baby version of Scott. And there's normal Scott. Yeah, he definitely sure was. Yeah, turned to a kid and turned into an old man as well. And you're about to get another great scene soon. One I've been long waiting to see happen since Civil War. I love Tony Rogers finally reconciled in this scene. And to add further greatness to that reconciliation, gives him back his shield. Yeah, we were all waiting for that since the ending of the Civil War, waiting for that scene to happen. And here comes the taco scene, and I'm also gonna mention this scene in the Hardigan subplot in my Endgame review, and my version would not be played for comedy, like in this scene. The taco scene would have had a reason to happen. Well, the actual taco scene in the movie would still happen after my version anyway, so it would still happen. But I do love that Hulk gives him two tacos to replace the one that he lost when the Guardians arrived here. So it's nice to see one teammate not treat him like dirt aside from Rogers and Romanoff. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, here comes Valkyrie. Another female character in this in the Marvel Cinematic Universe I don't like. But it's nice to see at least not all the Asgardians on that ship died. At least some of them survived. Now we're about to see Fat Thor, but Fat Thor at least had a reason to happen. I just wish they didn't try to make it funny. The thing is, the problem with Fat Thor is that they try to make it come off as funny when it shouldn't really be, because the guy just lost just about everybody in his life and just everything. So, but I remember everyone in the theater just going, "Oh no," when they saw Fat Thor. Like you should have, yeah, we should have had Lady Sif come back. We had her come back in Love and Thunder, which was the worst time to bring her back. Now there's Korg and Meek. Well, they're also tolerable here and in Ragnarok, unlike Love and Thunder. Especially because at least Korg like only really has like one or two scenes in Endgame. So, but it is also nice they survived. And there's New Matter. Yeah, true to that. I should have mentioned that. I should have mentioned she was a victim as well. I forgot about that. But the shame they didn't ever sur- It's a shame they didn't just let her survive the snap. I mean, because it would have saved Love and Thunder being her next big appearance. Yeah, and he does not like people mentioning Thanos in his house. Yeah, even Korg doesn't clearly does not like hearing that name get mentioned around Thor. No, still eating some candy on his pants, ugh. Or nut or whatever. Oh no, it's a licorice candy. But ugh. Yeah, Rocket Saint beer on the ship gets Thor to join them. And now we get to Hawkeye's recruitment, or Ronin's recruitment at the time, in Tokyo. And I like this scene right here. We get a nice little John Wick styled action scene with during the Tokyo moments. Would have loved to see a movie about just Ronin. Yeah, I think you even have the. I think you even have one of the guys from John Wick 4 in this cameo in this scene. Not sure if this version of Hawkeye's named Ronin or something, but I think yeah, same here. The guy lost his family and pretty much just wanders the earth unable of what to do with his life. Man, I wouldn't know. I mean, I know we never heard of that in the Hawkeye series, but I wouldn't know because I don't want to see the Hawkeye series. And this is the first time Nat and Clint meet each other again since Civil War. Oh, there goes one wasted. I don't care if it's Thanos. Killing him as a baby is screwed up. Die Hard's not a time travel movie. And you're wondering, what would I do if time travel were real? Well, if time travel were real, I'd use it to go and see all the great films I never got to see in theaters because I was too young to see in theaters, like the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I'd go back in time to see all three of them in theaters. That's one example of time travel. That's what I would have done if time travel were real. Yeah, but that too. Yeah, yeah, and erase some mistakes that I've made in my past and prevent those from a time make an alternate timeline where those mistakes never happened. Just sitting there with his sunglasses on, still drinking. Oh boy. The Rocket just looks annoyed. Just checking some things on YouTube here. So the guys, now I think about it, I should get this thing charged up for tomorrow morning. Gotta get my phone charged onto my wireless charger for tomorrow morning. Hold that thought. I'm still watching, guys. And now they've got all the information for the stones. And so begins the time heist. Love that speech. Really? I never get happy when she says see you in a minute. We know what's gonna happen. We should have known what was gonna happen that time. Yeah, and the last they ever saw her. Now we all should have known. Since we should have known where her and Clint were gonna go. And we get to where it all started, New York 2012, with the first team. The year where technically my real cinematic journey in the MCU really started, with the very first movie. Also remember seeing the first movie in theaters opening weekend when I was in middle school. And there's the Hulk when he was actually taken seriously. But the Professor Hulk, how are you still embarrassed by that? That's literally supposed to be you. Although, at least he has the iconic no shirt look here. Oh, and there's Tilda Swinton from the first Doctor Strange movie. Likely so that she had secretly aided in the attack. Yeah, felt like being in eighth grade. Last year, last one of the last months of me being in middle school. And there's Bruce Banner's normal self. Bruce Banner's spirit, anyways. And now we get to Asgard, 2013 with Thor: The Dark World. There's Loki in prison. And they're looking over the moment when Jane Foster met Thor's mom in that movie. Thor still has his can of beer. But Thor remembers this was the moment his mom is about to die. And he's just not ready and trying to run away and hide. Not ready. Thor, the half the universe is counting on you. Like, I'm kind of on Rocket's side in this scene. Like, half of people are gone temporarily, including Rocket's teammates. His mom can't be revived. She didn't die in the snap. She died years before the snap. No, he's gonna run away. Look, guys. Yeah. Of course he did. All right, and now we get to Morag, 2014. There's one of the things Star-Lord encountered. Well, at least, well, at least Rhodes gets to see Nap one last time a little more, unlike the other teammates did. But I do kind of wish Nebula kind of warned them of where they were going here, to be careful where they were. Matt and Clint were gonna go, but here you are, Morag, where the first Guardians of the Galaxy started. She remembers her old self, not being too far away. And now we get to see what her and Gamora were doing during the opening scene of Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, you guys are probably gonna hear some background noise here. So bear that in mind. You might hear some jamming background noise for the next bit tonight, but I don't think it should be too bad. I remember Nebula was trying to please her dad. Here we have 2014 Thanos. But however, this is where he was starting to figure out their plan. Starting to see into the future. And here we are. At the very moments they are surrounding Loki and arresting him. Just after they complete their mission. Oh, here comes the America ass scene. And I remember the theater laughing so hard at this part. That's America's ass. And here comes the Hydra guys from the Winter Soldier. And explains how the scepter. And here we see how the scepter ended up in their hands. Yeah, Scott does have a point. Oh, just shut up, Loki. There's the Tesseract. Oh, no, no, no. Hulk can't take this. Hulk has to take the stairs. Take the stairs. One thing to never do: never tell Hulk to take the stairs, because that will really make him mad. And I think this little scene was meant to be a little throw. I think this scene was supposed to be a throwback to that controversial comic, Hail Hide, where Cap was Hydra. That really controversial comic. Yeah, I think that scene was meant. This scene was meant to be a throwback to that one, and that's how he gets the scepter. Stars. Like, why doesn't Hulk just jump all the way down to the bottom? He's like, he can jump from really high things. So like, Hulk could literally just jump right down to the bottom floor. Like, I've seen Hulk jump from really high buildings and survive all the and he survives all the impacts. So I don't know why I could have did just that here. There you go. Yeah, they were about to go to shawarma. Because the post-credit scene in the first film, shawarma. Nope. Well, he's got the Tesseract for a while, but then he forgets. He told Hulk to take the stairs. Uh-oh. Fortunately, we get our stupid Loki TV series tease. Like, since Loki escaped, we now have that stupid Disney Plus series. And guys, when Cap gets sent back to return the stones, I like to pretend he fixes that timeline and finds that Loki and sends him back to New York 2012. I like to pretend that. I just like to pretend that happened. And he managed to fix that problem during that. Uh, and there was his 2012 self, Loki. Floor. Oh god. And the two Caps fights. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of how it should have ended. And not how it should have ended video at the end. Where the Caps pointed each other's asses. Oh, there's the scepter. There's the there's the photo of Peggy. Oh, just revealed something to him in the future. And knocks out his 2012 self with the scepter. But not before. What is this? Turns out Scott was right. Well, you could literally mention. Well, you could mention during a time when Rogers is returning the stones, he manages to find the escaped Loki and then pretty much and pretty much manages to make the Tesseract send that Loki back to 2012. Off screen, you could imply that happened, and then sends that Loki back to 2012, and then the rest of the ending of the Avengers 2012 happens. That's how I pretend. That's how I would like to pretend it happens. That's what I would have done. That prompts the sorceress to give Banner the stone. So at least Banner gets the time stone. At least Banner succeeded getting the time stone and Roger succeeded getting the scepter. Yeah, there's the Bonnie Ma. And back to Asgard. Yeah, yeah, Endgame really made us appreciate the Dark World a lot more. Yeah, and after much worse MCU films would be coming after this, like Eternals, Love and Thunder, Multiverse of Madness, Captain Mary Sue, all worse movies, way worse. And I love this scene here because Thor finally gets to make some peace with his mom, Frigga. There's Rocket. And I can bet you even the Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels, is going to be joining that list. Because that trailer's gotten so many dislikes on YouTube. It's not shocking. Literally nobody wants to see the Marvels. Well, love like rocks by the guards. This scene was perfectly written. We are like, in this scene, Thor realized that he didn't need to be the king of Asgard to be a worthy god in this scene. After he made peace with Frigga, that made him realize he didn't have to be some worthy god just by being a king of a certain town or something here. This really made Thor realize he could still be the god he's known to be. It's one. And go, oh, hold on. And guess what, guys? He's still worthy of the hammer. Love that. Perfect scene. Frigga's saying that she'll be fine. Is going to accept her death. Oh, and here comes Quill. The opening scene of the Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay, let's turn it down a little bit. Copyright reasons. Stupid Disney. Okay. And Rhodes and Nebula have to witness this. Nebula just looks so embarrassed. Oh, yeah, because Rhodes has seen too many movies about places like this. He forgets Nebula's not from Earth. And clearly doesn't want to hear the warning. Or just before Nebula's about to go back, she starts to malfunction because of her past self. And Thanos is witnessing his future self's death and success. And how nobody liked what he did for the universe. Alright. It premieres next week. Just checking my phone. It's at 100%. I'll unhook it, unplug that charger, then get this charger plugged in so that this does not, so that my iPad I'm recording this off of does not lose battery while I'm doing this. There we go. And here comes our final Stan Lee cameo in New Jersey, 1970. Rest in peace, Stan Lee. Our very last Stan Lee cameo. I'm glad he got to live long enough to be able to cameo in this. Well, well, Howard Stark. There's younger Hank Pym, and a de-aging of Michael Douglas looks very good here. And this is another moment where Tony gets to actually meet his dad properly for the first time. Yeah, so did I. And right here, you actually get to see Peggy's office and a picture of Rogers from the first Captain America movie. There's Carter looking over a file. And right here, Tony gets that one last conversation with Howard. Yep, I love that right here. Saying he only remembers the good stuff and now makes peace with Howard. Secretly made peace with Howard here. And we get to see human Jarvis in this scene. We got to see human Jarvis. And there's Thanos' ship. Now, Vormir, the last part of the time heist. In the last scene, we see of Nat. Here comes Red Skull. And I always wonder what Roger's reaction probably was when the minute he saw Red Skull during the time he was returning to the stones and returned to Soulstone. I get him. I always wondered what his reaction would have been. At least we kind of got to see it and how it should have ended. Yeah, you can tell. Dust your shelves this weekend. You really feel a struggle which one should sacrifice himself. First, Hawkeye thinks should because he has nothing left to live for. His family's gone, but Nat clearly knew his family would come back, and he still needed to see them come back, and so right here, Nat pretty much chose to be the one to go. the theater opening night. I was not ready to accept this. None of us were ready to accept this when we first saw it. Well, and the rest of the team just had to find out. And there's the power gauntlets. Yeah, plus and can't survive the Infinity Stone damage. So Hulk knows, or Professor Hulk or Bruce Banner knows he's the only one that can be able to be the one to bring everyone back. But on the bad side, there's 2014 Nebula. And the stupidest thing about She-Hulk is this literally retcons his injury from the gauntlets. Another stupid thing She-Hulk did was that even though damage from the Infinity Stones is permanent, somehow Banner literally cured himself of it, apparently, in the She-Hulk series. And I remember in the theater being randomly jump scared when Thanos' missiles immediately attacked the compound just as they were realizing their plan worked. And right here, you get the first joy from Hawkeye, hearing one of his family members actually call him on the phone. And I remember being randomly jump scared by this in the theater because I had forgotten about that and I was too focused on being relieved that their plan worked, and I forgot about 2014 Thanos being transported to their area. And there goes the compound. And the gauntlet ended up with Hawkeye. There's Alice's alien dogs. Right here, Nebula's character growth really solidifies where he pretty much reveals what will happen to Gamora in the future, and this time, she actually lets Gamora help her up. Here, that really solidifies her character growth because that's something her future self, her past self, refused. And we're about to get to the exciting stuff. We're about to get to the best stuff right here. Yeah. All right, here we go. And our original three heroes, our big three, walking to confront Thanos. That perfect shot. The big three who started it all. be around to tell them. I love that here. And his plan makes sense because since that half can't be grateful for what he did, and it's the only way he's going to be able to eliminate the Avengers and prevent them from ruining his hard work. And unfortunately for Hawkeye, he's just about to run into past Nebula. Oh, crap. Oh, God. And pretty much Nebula finally letting go of her past and killing her past self. Very solidifying her growth here. Or, and soon we're gonna get to one of the best theater moments ever. One of the moments I remember seeing in the theater. Cap is worthy! Hey guys, this is from an audience reaction video that happened here. So I thought I'd play for this part. Credit to this user, by the way. about to do. Our annoying little planet. Gonna enjoy it very, very much. And Cap had my respect here. He was literally about to take on a whole army all by himself, even if it would have failed. Like how he was still willing to take one last stand against Thanos, regardless. And I remember everybody in the theater cheering at this part. Oh, ho, 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 ho. This is still one of the best moments I've ever had in a theater. Right here, you see all the armies coming out. Like Falcon, T'Challa, Shuri, Okoye. Next, you see Doctor Strange, the, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Right here. And Spider-Man got the loudest cheers. Like, once again, I'm playing the... Once again, this part's actually an audience reaction video on YouTube that I'm watching here for this part because I still want to remember the cheers in the theater when I went to see this in the theater. This wasn't the theater. This video wasn't the theater I went to, but I just wanted to relive the memories for this part because this part really deserves all the cheers because there's the Ravagers, Howard the Duck, the Guardian, the Asgard citizens, the Wakanda citizens, the sorcerers even. Except for one. And there's Giant Man, Safe, Professor Hulk, Rhodes and Rocket, and they're ready for battle. And right there, the whole theater screamed like a football stadium. Finally got to hear Cap say assemble. And Thanos sends his army out. An 11-year saga worth the hype. All coming together. Booyah! And Drax and Korg teaming up. And if Pepper and Tony teaming up in the final battle. Oh, and right here's another great moment. Tony finally gave Peter that hug. Finally got that hug properly. It's not the one from your timeline. It's not the one you're thinking. To be honest, kind of had that coming for Infinity War. I'm not gonna lie. There's Hawkeye. Fair enough. Just still remember the van, guys. Still remember the van? That's ruined by the hope, but at least the tunnel's still intact. There's Ant-Man and the Wasp teaming up. Then, like in Civil War. And rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. Pissed off Wanda. Yeah, you could tell how really pissed Wanda was. And she even almost straight up murdered Thanos in cold blood. The closest. And then Yeah, Thor killed present day Thanos for sure. You definitely right about that. Remember, still a kid in the battlefield. And I loved Rocket was pretty much hugging Team Groot to protect him from try to protect him. And on the bad side, but this is all but even I guess she was kinda useful here maybe. Yep. Honestly, I don't know why we could have just had Thor destroy the ship. Thor should have destroyed it. I wouldn't have minded that. Regardless of Thor's state, during the rest of this movie, I still wish Thor could have been the one to destroy it. Oh god, here comes our scene with Peter Parker. It's not funny. No, I don't. Half these girls don't even know each other. Not all of them. Well, not all of them know each other, anyways. So this shot just felt kind of forced. And plus, I'm sure she doesn't need your help, girl. She's Captain Marvel. However, thankfully, no. Well, but Thanos does some quick thinking, prevents her from being the one to get the stones back. And God. Now Captain Mary Sue trying to fight Thanos. But thankfully, Thanos does finally this. Nope! Bye! Yes! So satisfying when he one punched her out of the scene. My god. And here's the one possibility where they win. Tony's the one possibility. And how do we finish off a character's story arc? Have him say the very line that started it all. As he snaps Thanos and his army away. This was very satisfying. Very satisfying to see Thanos' work crumble before him. And it's nice how they're walking towards him thinking he'll save them, when he can do nothing about it. However, Thanos still has my respect as a villain. Because he did not freak out like Steppenwolf and Joss Whedon's Justice League did. No, he actually accepted defeat and sat down to watch the sunrise one more time. Much like in Infinity War, just watch the sunrise as he waits for his doom. As he lets himself die. Farewell to the very final DCEU villain. Alright, YouTube video off now. Time to unmute the TV for the rest of this. No, he never will. Screw Kang. Kang's a joke. Just as we were celebrating, though, we had just remembered what the Infinity Stones do to people. And we realized this was it for Stark. And in the theater, you could literally just hear everybody just crying their eyes out and sniffling, front and back. Now we get to see Clint and everybody reuniting with the families they lost in the snap. Hawkeye reuniting with his wife and his children. Peter Parker back in school since he missed 5 years. and reuniting with Ned because since it turns out Ned was a victim of the snap as well. And we all know they have to retake their courses because to make up for everybody that got snapped away. And now we see Scott reunite with Cassie and Hope, watching the fireworks that celebrate the Avengers bringing everyone back. And celebrating Thanos' death. And we get an amazing callback to 2008. See Happy Hogan and Rhodes, Rogers, Peter Parker and Aunt Bay, Thor, Hulk, Juan and Doctor Strange, Scott Lang and the Pims, the Guardians of the Galaxy, T'Challa, Okoye, and Shuri, Clint Barton and his family, Wanda, Bucky, and Falcon, and sadly, Bucky and Tony are never gonna make up now. Harley, Fireman 3, Maria Hill, and. Why is Ross at the funeral? That guy caused all of this. And broke apart the Avengers. He should be in jail. And there's Nick Fury. And this scene literally makes it look like Wanda's finally at peace with Vision's death, but thanks to a stupid WandaVision series and the Multiverse of Madness, nope. She pretty much becomes a villain, takes the whole town hostage, etc. Just remember that now. the charger for his iPad. Besides this scene with Thor, I'm not a big fan of anyway, so I don't mind missing a lot of this part because this part's just not funny. I don't enjoy I don't enjoy the rivalry, guys. So I'm not gonna listen to this. So I may as well just sit on my bed for the last minutes of the movie. Thank goodness Love and Thunder at least retconned him joining the Guardians, but retcon him and Star Lord's rivalry. Yeah, Return of the King. Yeah, you nailed that right. Return of the King of MCU, and No Way Home is Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, Return of the Jedi in a way. Except even Return of the King didn't get screwed over by a bunch of sequels, at least. Unlike Return of the Jedi did, and this movie. And now we're at Cap's ending. And I feel like he got the best one of all of them. Bucky knew exactly what Steve was going to do. He was the only one that knew exactly Steve was not going to come back. And at least they got the whole time travel tunnel fixed. Remember that scene in Age of Ultron between them? That was foreshadowing this. After returning the stones, Cap decided to live a life Tony told him to live. He did that, and he came back an old man. Finally getting to live that. And this right here was a good ending for the Captain America storyline. Even get that theme from the first Avenger playing in the background here. Like it belongs in a museum, foreshadowing Falcon and Winter Soldier, where he just betrayed his promise and gave it up to a museum instead. Just remember, Sam betrayed his promise to Rogers. That's all I can think of now watching this scene. He's just gonna give it up to a museum, and it's gonna ruin this whole scene. Because Sam literally promised he'd do his best to take care of it. No, just gives it up. And then, to close off the movie, we literally get to see the thing that Rogers had promised Peggy when he'd return. He finally got to have that dance with Peggy. The perfect shot to close the movie out on. And the perfect shot to close out the MCU. Okay? Like, everybody got, all the original six had their happy endings here. Hulk made peace with, Bruce Banner made peace with Hulk and has finally merged as one. Hawkeye can finally retire with his family. Nat finally died at peace saving the world, as did Tony Stark. Thor went on adventures with the Guardians. And Captain America finally got to return to his timeline. And get to be with, spend the rest of his life with Peggy Carter. Why couldn't they just end it here? Why couldn't they just end the MCU as a whole with this movie? But no! We're gonna make a shitty cash grab multiverse saga, with the exceptions of Far From Home and No Way Home. We're gonna make a bunch of shitty cash grabs. We're gonna try to cash in a Lord of the Rings with Eternals stuff, and then we're gonna try to be all weird and bizarre with Multiverse of Madness. We're gonna make Love and Thunder joke fest that's just gonna bring back Jane Foster, turn to Mary Sue, she gets cancer, she dies. Wanda's gonna become a villain in her show in Multiverse of Madness. T'Challa's gonna literally die the same way Chadwick died, as will his mom in Wakanda Forever, which I read on Wikipedia, guys. And now we have a new villain named Kang that's gonna make this whole movie pointless stuff. We have some worse Disney Plus shows even after this, like Hawkeye got Drake back into the Hawkeye mantle in that Disney Plus show. Sam betrayed his promise to Steve in Falcon and Winter Soldier. And then we had that shitty She-Hulk series. Why couldn't they just leave it alone after this movie? This was the perfect send-off. The perfect ending. I like to pretend this movie was the ending to the MCU. It was beautiful, but I'm on the credits, guys. That's why and I like seeing this credit montage of all the actors and their characters here. So I'm just gonna watch this part, and after this montage ends, I'm gonna turn the movie off and I'm gonna end the live stream here because I gotta go to bed so I can be ready for work tomorrow morning, and then do a Peloton and be ready for a Peloton exercise tomorrow morning stuff. So yeah, I'll just do the outro right now. So that'll be it for this live stream. This was nice to make. Be sure to watch my review next week. That will be premiering on 11 a.m. on April 26th, next Wednesday. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you can watch the credit montage, but I'm just gonna do the outro right now. Yeah. That'll be I'll say the final part of the outro after this montage ends. Because now let's watch the original Sixes montage. We have Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, and his signature. I liked how we got to see the original Sixes signatures and their parts in the credits. As if this was the Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, her signature. Chris Hemsworth Thor, his signature. Mark Ruffalo, his has Hulk, his signature. Kinda wish we still got to keep Edward Norton. But oh well. He wasn't terrible, but I just liked Edward Norton better. Chris Evans, who I used to like, Captain America, I don't like anymore. Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, his signature. Okay, that's it. Alright, guys. So, anyway, that will be it for this live stream. Thank you all for watching. If you like this, want to see more, and don't forget to like, subscribe to Don G. Corleone.